I'll turn the
Lieutenant
mic over.
Governor, I'm going to hold this for the Lieutenant Governor. This is Lieutenant Governor Jeff Kottkamp, and he is here today with us. He's going to be speaking. Lieutenant Governor, thank you so much.
Absolutely, it's great to be with you.
And we have a high school student here.
Hi.
She is from she's the vice president of the Young Conservatives of Sarasota. So we're very pleased to have you with her and me.
Future leader, leader.
The two beauties and the beast. But Governor, if you don't mind, I know you're going to be speaking tonight, but we had a couple of quick questions for you.
Absolutely.
Governor, the health care bill passed on Sunday, and as you know, in your leadership, a lawsuit has been filed. What are your thoughts about that? How's this bill gonna hurt the people of Florida?
Well, it's going to hurt us enormously from a financial standpoint, but far more important than that is the undoing of the Constitution. You know, the Constitution very clearly states the powers that are given to the federal government. All other powers, as the 10th Amendment says, are reserved to the people and the states. And this health care legislation totally undoes that. I fully support all of the attorney generals around the country that have drawn the line in the sand and say this is the case where we take back our country and we don't allow the federal government to continue to usurp power away from the people of this country.
Well, sir, I know you're here as the Lieutenant Governor, but I also know that you're obviously running for the Attorney General. Will you commit to the people of Florida that when you win the Attorney General position, that you will use the full force of your office to carry this lawsuit to a successful end for the people of Florida?
I absolutely do that, not only there, but in other areas where we see the federal government continuing to reach further and further into the lives of Floridians. An example are the EPA standards that they're trying to impose only on Florida. Again, I think they have gone way beyond their powers, and the Attorney General of this state, as our current one is doing, needs to say enough is enough. We're going to fight for the Constitution and for the people of this great state.
Wonderful, and the EPA, just for our viewers here, the EPA has imposed numeric water standards only for the state of Florida, of all the 50 states, and the indications are that local cities, counties, and the state are going to have to retrofit many of the water treatment facilities, and in so doing will cost the Floridian taxpayer billions of dollars. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's financially not sustainable. And now they've just delayed this for a year, I guess, thinking that we'll just forget about it, but we won't. And the standards are way beyond anything imposed on anybody else. I think it's very arguable. It's an equal protection clause violation, but one that I would certainly challenge as an Attorney General of Florida.
Wonderful. Sir, let me ask you, I know that you've been appointed to be I guess you're the head man in terms of the space program. I know you love it dearly. Obviously, Florida has been an important part of the space program at the center over on the other coast of Florida. And it appears that the president has eliminated the budget. Would you give us some thoughts about that?
Well, actually, today I challenged him to a debate. He's coming to Florida for a space summit next month, and I want to hash it out. I don't want to see another one of these summits where people use political talking points. You know, being the leader in space is about far more than the national pride of going back to the moon or Mars. We have more than 3,000 products that we all use every day, developed as part of the space program. It's about being a leader in innovation, about being an economic superpower, and frankly, space is tied to being a military superpower. So the president's wrong on this, and we're going to continue to fight him on it.
Sir, I want to ask you, I know that, you know, as an Attorney General and knowing that the state of Florida, 11 of the 19 hijackers originated here. I wanted to get your thoughts about trying Sheikh Khalid Mohammed in New York. What are your thoughts about that? Is that a bad idea?
It's a bad idea to treat terrorists as citizens and give them the rights and the Constitution that are granted to the citizens of this great country. These people are terrorists, and they ought to be treated accordingly.
Wonderful, and I you know, so that's, you know, it's very important that, and I'm glad you said that, because, you know, what's the value of American citizenship when we give the same rights to people that literally are foreigners who come here to kill us? So again, I know you're here as the Lieutenant Governor, but I know that you're a strong believer in ensuring that all Floridians and all Americans are protected. And we have a very big, porous border.
It's the first responsibility of government, provide for safety and security, ensure domestic tranquility, our founders would have said, and it's job one of government. And clearly, we have this debate going on with the ports in Florida right now. The Florida ports want to do away with our own security laws, that we have in place in Florida. It's a little bit tighter than the federal government's. But I think the federal government's proven that they're not doing a real good job right now with border security. They need to do a far better job of it.
I understand, sir. And are there any final comments? I know you want to go get something to eat. So is there any final comments before you leave that you'd like to make?
Well, I tell you, the country is at a crossroads. And what's encouraging to me as I travel all over Florida, it's like middle America has woken up. And they are not going to stand by and let their country, our country, taken from us. And that is the most encouraging thing to see. People all over this state fired up, ready to take back the country, to fight for the Constitution and the principles that this country was founded on. And I'm with them.
Yes, sir. And I want to make one other comment. I want to make sure that I know that you agree, but I know that you're a strong supporter of Israel. Absolutely. We've got serious problems. There are a lot of people that come to me, and I know they're looking to your leadership because we have a very strong and wonderful population and of course this nation is based on Judeo-Christian values. We have a wonderful Jewish population here. What are your thoughts about what seems to be an unnecessary affront to the state of Israel?
Met with the General Council of Israel last week, actually, and reaffirmed we're with them. They are our #1 ally in the Middle East, and we should stand next to them in all. I don't understand what the White House is doing at all. This is a precious relationship that we have with the state of Israel. We should embrace it and do everything we can to support them.
Sir, thank you so much. I know you got to get going, but I have to ask if the lady, I've been ignoring the beautiful lady here. Gabrielle, do you have any questions for the Lieutenant Governor?
I do. I know that you have some people that you're running against, Holly Benson and Pam Bondi. What would you have that as some skills or some plans to benefit the Florida legislation and things that maybe the other candidates do not have?
Well, I think if you look at my totality of my life experience, my work experience, having served the almost 19 million people of Florida as Lieutenant Governor, overseeing the Office of Drug Control as an example, we're working with the sheriffs of this state to have an organized plan of attack against pain clinics. 6 people die a day in Florida from the overdose of prescription drugs. It's a huge problem, and one that I'm working on now. I would certainly carry over that work and my relationships with the 67 sheriffs of the state and the 20 state attorneys to have an organized plan of attack against crime. But the Attorney General's office is far more. Medicaid fraud, a huge problem, especially down in South Florida. We're losing between $1 and $3 billion a year to Medicaid fraud, and that has to be stamped out. Some of the good work that our current Attorney General has done, I would continue, like the cybercrime unit, going after predators who are going after our children online, breaking up gangs, which have become the organized crime of our time. There are a whole host of issues which I really feel like I have prepared my whole life for, and I'm very excited about this race and the opportunity to make the case for why my life experience, my work experience leads me to be the best prepared for the job.
All right, well, thank you very much.
Well, again, Lieutenant Governor, thank you so much, and I think personally, I believe you'd make a great Attorney General. I know you're not here in that role, but sir, thank you, and you have a wonderful evening and a safe trip back to Tallahassee, and keep doing the great work you're doing, sir.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to meet you.